Hey y'all, how's it going? I'm trading the ES futures on a 2000 tick chart with a 21 EMA. So I've got the overnight high up here and the overnight low down here. These are our key levels for the day. So I started trading at 8 Central Time, which is this area right here, right up as we broke this uptrend here. And when an uptrend gets a break, you can expect prices to attempt a new high. And you would want to enter on the second attempt at a new high, not the first attempt. And you don't really get a good opportunity here. Now, on this break, it's clearly one leg down. However, if you zoom in, you can see that on a very small picture, you do technically have two legs right there. It's very small, but you do technically have that. And then when you push above here, you get this small break with this red bar, and then, entering on that second attempt higher on this green bar right there. However, this is just too small picture for the way I trade. This is not something I would be interested in. I would want to see a clear two-legged break, another leg down just like this, two-legged break, and even by the time you get that, if I could draw this out here, if we got a clear two-legged break, this would basically be a failed second entry starting from here. First entry short, second entry short, failure. If we got a good two-legged break, but we don't get that. So we just end up pushing on higher. Once again, this was too small picture for me, but it does have a strong leg up. And notice this is a measured move higher, so two legs up. As soon as that measured move was met, we start pushing back down. Now, there wasn't any clear entries on the way up here. We just kind of had these shallow corrections without even reaching the EMA. And by the time we do reach the EMA, we're pushing through it. And so it's just a sharp push below. And even though you're closing back above pretty good here, it's still just a first entry. So there's really nothing here. We push up and we reach that measured move, or we come within a tick of reaching it. It's basically a met measured move right there. Now, when a measured move is met, you can expect a strong reversal. And so even though on a bigger picture, you still have this, these two legs, they are really one leg on a bigger picture. That's pretty clear. It's pretty thin there. That doesn't matter. It's still, you can still expect a strong reversal. And so look at this overnight high here. So this acts as a magnet. Really, all trend lines act as a magnet, but these overnight levels act like very strong magnets. Price consistently pulls back to them. In this case today, it kept going back to that overnight level throughout the day. And so the point is, these act as magnets. And when we get this break here, just like I was saying over here, how I would like to see a two-legged break, I would also like to see a two-legged break here. And after we get this first leg down, we push above, and you're already getting a very sharp push down. So this is already making a two-legged break, except the difference between this one here and this one is it's more likely to be successful here because we have this overnight magnet in play. And plus, we have this measured move in play, which you would have one here if it had closed below and actually started pushing down. But here we actually have confirmation. It's really pushing down, showing that the bears are coming in to at least retest this overnight high. So you can expect a two-legged break. You have this measured move in play. It's already getting a strong reaction. You can use this measured move as a magnet. And once again, this major up measured move was met with a very strong reaction. So this is why I liked this so much. You could already expect a reversal in this area. We didn't get a full-on failed second entry reversal pattern, but given the context, that's not exactly needed. This is a very good lower high entry. So we do push on down here. I wouldn't push the target past the overnight high because, once again, these are very major key levels. But we do end up pushing on through and then also just pushing on through that measured move. Now, with this wider downtrend here, at first it would be more like this, and then we overshoot. Now, overshoots lead to breaks. However, in this case here, notice how it started having consistent lows that matched with the angle of the trend. So due to that, you can just extend it and not have to worry about it, really breaking. Now, oftentimes it will still lead to a break after an overshoot like that. However, once again, it's actually confirming at the same level. So this is just indicating that you have a wider channel here. Now, when you come off one side of a channel, you want to see two attempts to reach the other side before you continue short with it. And you don't really get that here at first until over here you get these two legs back. But I wouldn't want to enter short right here just because it's, holding above the EMA, 3 bars right there. But then we do push on lower here. And so I viewed this, and this is where I took this mistake. So we had 2 legs higher and then a leg back down. So to me, it looked like, all right, we had 2 attempts to reach the other side, having a successful short. And I knew this range was here. This is why this trade is so dumb. we had this range right here, and we had a break, and I was expecting a second leg down, which, is technically right, but I tried to push it past this measured move, or sorry, not measured move. I tried pushing it past this range low, which really was holding like that. I kind of drew it like that, trying to allow more room for myself, but I really should have had it a little higher up. I tried using a limit order. It was kind of an impulsive trade. Really not a good entry at all, but it does push higher, stops out, and then makes a second leg down. It was basically an early entry, but I don't even like saying that necessarily. It was clearly into support. I kind of just allowed myself to do that. I really shouldn't have done that, but a little bit impulsive, allowing myself to do that. But whatever, not a big deal. Just part of trading. You're not gonna be able to never take losses or anything. It's just part of trading, taking losses and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, we do push on down here. We fade back up. No real good entry to get long here because you don't want to enter right into all of this measured. Sorry, not measured. I keep screwing up the terms. This EMA is pointed straight down here, and so you wouldn't want to enter straight into that, because it's just too bearish at this point. But by the time we do close above here, it's already right into this trend line. So, and also, of course, the range high. So there's really no way to get long here safely. Now, notice here how we have leg up, break, second leg up. So we have two legs up there. However, we do end up, that does turn into one leg on a bigger picture, and then we get a bigger picture 2 legs higher there. Now, just like I was saying, when I was talking about these two trends over here, this uptrend here, and then, this wider one, we can expect a 2-legged break. And we have this downtrend, we get a very strong break, we push lower here. Now, considering we did have these 2 legs higher right here, if we had held below the EMA and this range line right here, we could have gotten a short if it had held, but the bulls came into play, started pushing on higher, and formed a bigger picture leg. So now we have a 2-legged break at this point. So we have a downtrend with a 2-legged break, retesting the overnight high with a very strong reaction off of it. So this is a place to look for a short. Now, once again, downtrend was expecting a new low. We had a measured move met, retesting the overnight high with a strong reaction. So it had extremely good context. I wasn't going to let this trend line worry me. The plan was, if we do for some reason have a very strong reaction to the trend line and start pushing on higher, I would attempt a break-even trade. But the context was so good, I was pretty confident in this trade. So anyway, we push on lower here. After that 2-legged break, we get a very strong push down here. And now, even though these 2 legs here are very clear and very separated, on an even bigger picture, you have to be dynamic and spot it as it forms. This is still 1 leg on a bigger picture. Price action levels, they continue to get bigger and bigger as the day goes on. So as we push up here, the way I viewed this was, we have a downtrend with a bigger picture 2-legged break, but at this point here, we still have this measured move in play. And so since we have the measured move in play, we don't necessarily have to reach it, but we do need another attempt at it. So when this measured move is basically formed, as we're pushing up here, that's when you can draw this measured move pretty clearly. You would at least want to see 2 attempts to reach it. So even if we didn't reach it, if we could have at least gotten an attempt holding off of this overnight high, we still could have gotten something. But in this case here, we do end up pushing on through the overnight high and reaching that measured move and having an extremely strong reaction off of it, just like we did here on this smaller measured move. So this was basically the same exact trade as right here, except on an even bigger picture, And so that's why I like this trade so much. It's just a bigger picture trade. And you can view this as, so notice from this top here, it's basically like first entry long, second entry long, failure. It's just a huge picture failed second entry with a very strong reaction off of this overnight high pushing lower there, and also, of course, this measured move. So I really did like that a whole lot right there. Now, if you weren't able to get in on it, we did get this pullback within and then a sharp push down. So this is a lower high entry. So this is a lower high entry within an already good looking entry. So if you weren't able to get in over here, or or if say you wanted to have smaller risk, you didn't want to risk so much, you could have used this lower high, which I just want to see really quick exactly what that'd be. That'd be, it's not, it's pretty significantly less risk right there, if you don't want to take such a big trade. So sometimes you can wait on something like that and get a smaller entry, but to me this looked good. I didn't want to add on, but it does look good, this lower high right here. Right before I made the video, I saw someone ask about that. So we push on lower here, get these two legs down. I just want to point out these measured moves. These measured moves are extremely important. This first measured move up here, this major one, as soon as it was met, very strong reversal. This measured move, we pushed on through. However, then, once again, we got these two legs up here, which were perfectly measured, and then we immediately got this, which was a bigger picture measured move. Perfectly measured, within a tick of reaching it before plummeting down. And then here, two legs down again, went through it this time, a few points through, but then reversed very strong at it still. So I just want to say these measured moves are extremely important to understand. They're not always going to bounce right off of it. For instance, right here, it ends up pushing on through, but it is very common to bounce directly off of it. So it is very important to understand measured moves and draw them all the time when you're going through charts. So anyway, after we pushed on lower here, measured move was met. We attempted to reverse. We didn't get a perfect reversal pattern. I didn't like how it started forming this chop up here. So I didn't really like this right here, but if we had gotten something like a clear rush above and then two legs back, that could have offered a good reversal pattern, but I didn't like how it was kind of starting to form a range. But considering that we did have basically consistent area right here, it wasn't perfectly consistent, but we were bouncing in the same area. I don't think it's that bad given the overall context, but in many situations, I wouldn't like the way that this entry looks, but given how strong this area is, I think that this does look okay. Especially after when we get these two legs up, we do push lower and have a very strong push higher. Now, once again, it was getting a little bit stacked, and I wouldn't always like this, but you have to look at the bigger picture. On the bigger picture, we keep on holding with slightly higher lows and also higher highs. So this is telling you the bulls are coming in. So, yeah, I didn't take this trade right here. I didn't actually fully see it, but yeah, given the bigger picture context, I kind of wish I was paying more attention around this point. But yeah, usually I wouldn't like that, but yeah, we do have very good context for it. So anyway, we push on higher here, and we're kind of just broken out, very strong push out. We could get a couple legs down. We could get some kind of, I just want to see how, we could possibly get something, that's kind of big, but it was fitting off those lows all right. So, we could get a couple legs down here. Let me draw them out, see what we could. Could get something like this, some kind of big picture entry. We are spiking up there. We could get another spike up. This downtrend had a couple attempts to play out before a strong reversal, so we could easily have a second leg up and get something to get in on it. So, I'm probably not going to be trading for much longer after this video, but, if you are, you could get something like that, some huge picture failed second entry. Rush back above from here, assuming we make something like this, we could rush back above and get a, even a smaller picture failed second entry within to make a larger leg up. So there's a lot of possibilities here. So anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.